Welcome to Toronto. Thank you for bringing this great film here. And it's hands down so much fun to watch this movie.
Thank you.
And it's different, but yet it's very nostalgic. How important was that for you to get that across?
Yeah, I think that was all part of it. I think that's really in the DNA of the movie. We're telling an origin story about a Transformer, and so it made sense to set it in the era that the Transformers were born, which is the mid-'80s, which was perfect for me because that's the era that I grew up in.
Right.
And so there's just kind of a natural nostalgia that comes with that. I wanted the film to feel evocative of those great 80s coming-of-age stories, things like E.T. and Goonies and Back to the Future. I mean, that was the vibe, the spirit that we wanted to capture with this movie. And so it's honoring, the great action and the spectacle and the VFX that we've seen in the other Transformers films, but bringing this great humor and heart and sensitivity from those great 80s Amblin films.
So how much did you play with Transformers as a kid?
I played with them a lot. I was a huge fan. I watched the cartoons. I had little Bumblebee action figure. I'd go on little adventures, and now we're doing it again.
Well, I was going to say, what is it about Bumblebee? I mean, listen, everybody has their favorite Transformer, but what is it about Bumblebee that we love so much?
He's the one with the most heart. He's the one who's the warmest, the most human, I guess. And he's always been the one character, the one Transformer who had the greatest connection with humanity, with people. Yeah. But we've never really explored why that is. And I think that this film, that's an aspect of his character I think is really fundamentally very interesting. And with this film, we find out why that is. He's from this alien planet. He comes to Earth. He's a stranger in a strange land. What is it about him? Yeah. What is it about us that forges that connection? And we find out in this movie.
Yeah, of course your background is animation and oh my gosh, Kubo. It was such a great film. Wonderful, wonderful film. But this is a whole new ball of wax for you.
Different kind of a thing.
Seriously, I mean, what kind of challenges were you facing? Because especially for the fact that we really relate to Bumblebee, as we were just saying, like he is the heart, and to make us feel, or I don't know, but for me, I honestly thought that Hailee was interacting with another human. I never even really thought that he was a robot, How hard was that, and what kind of pressure is it to get that right?
It's certainly pressure. I mean, this is franchise filmmaking, so I'm diving into the deep end on this thing. Yeah. But it's, their relationship is the core of the movie. Hailee's character, Charlie, and Bumblebee, that's the heart and soul of this film. So you have to buy into it. You have to believe that it's real, and you have to believe that he's real. Yeah. When in fact, he's just ones and zeros in a computer. He's just, he's an animated object. So to be able to breathe life and to give him character and personality, I mean, that's what animators do, and that's what I've done my whole career. But it was pretty tricky because Hailee, for most of the film, she's acting against thin air. There's nothing there.
Exactly.
And so you never question for a second when you're watching the film. You feel like that she's always there with him. And it's a testament to both her incredible talent and the talent of the animators.
Well, I was going to say that because there's scenes where she's actually even touching his face, and you really do believe she's touching his face, But yes, I want to talk about her because I remember interviewing her for her very first film,
True Grit.
Yeah. And she was, 14 and then?
12,
12,
maybe.
12.
Yeah,
and I
12
just
or
thought,
13.
I think this young lady's going someplace. But she's remained so humble, so wonderful, despite the music career and everything else that she's amassed. What was it about her that you thought, she's going to be perfect as Charlie?
I knew it right from the outset. My very first meeting with Paramount and the producers, I said, there is only one actor who can do this, and it's Hailee Steinfeld. Yeah. And it was the only person I could think of that could carry a movie like this. We just needed someone who was just incredibly charming, who could break our hearts, who could lift our spirits, who could do absolutely anything on camera and make it feel real and authentic. I mean, she's fearless as an actor, and I knew that she could do justice to the role. And of course, when she said yes, I was thrilled, and like you said, I mean, she's just an absolute joy to work with. It was a great privilege to be able to join hands and jump off the cliff together and try to make this thing work. Yeah. And she was just a great partner in the process.
Yeah, she's really, really wonderful. And John Cena too. Talk about comedic timing. Guy's really got it.
He's very funny. He's very, very funny. I mean, he's naturally very funny. Yeah. He's almost like he's a kind of an ad-lib machine. But he, for this movie, he plays the human heavy. He plays kind of the bad guy, although he's got dimensions, so it's not really that black and white. But I wanted to make sure that the bad guy, if you will, had charisma and charm and could be funny and empathetic. And John can do all that stuff. Obviously, he's a formidable physical presence because he's a giant of a man.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of humanity underneath all that. So he did a great job.
He did a
He's
really
joy to
great
work
job, and
with.
I just have to know, thumbs up. You're taking this over from Michael Bay. I mean, come on, really? Like, that's a big deal. Thumbs up from the man. What's the reaction?
Oh, with Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he doesn't. I think he's proud of what we did. I think he didn't. I think he's pleased with what I've done with his baby. So
should be.
I certainly am.
Good. Well, that's what counts, really. Honestly, you really have done a spectacular job.
Thank you.
I think families definitely need to take your kids to this. Bumblebee's the best. I mean, come on, really? Optimus Prime? No, it's Bumblebee.